I am the prosecuting attorney in the case State versus Robbins and Colbert. The charges are aggravated assault, kidnapping, theft of a motor vehicle, and second-degree murder. The 3 counts. Today I will be presenting to you a criminal trial in the way that a criminal trial goes and the order in which it goes.
Who is the ideal juror to help you solidify your case against the defendants?
The ideal juror in this case would be someone who is a mother, who can be perceived as honest, and who likes to seek justice, someone maybe a parent of any kind, grandparent that has sympathy toward children, or this case been a victim or have family members who have been a victim of these type of cases.
Now, who do you try to avoid having on your jury?
You try to avoid having someone on your jury that is not really interested in the case, that has no sympathy toward children, that doesn't really want to be there, someone who is dishonest, or someone that may be skeptical about the legal system itself.
Your responsibility is to provide evidence beyond a reasonable doubt that the two defendants are guilty of murder.
In my opening statement, imagine you and your family just sitting at a fruit stand fundraising for your church, laughing, talking, and living life as normal. And suddenly, that blissfulness is ruined and destroyed by a vehicle heading your way. What do? You try to save your children, ages 7, 10, and 15. But it's too late. The truck slams into the fruit stand, out of control, kills all of your children, and injures you and put you in a hospital. Today, we will prove that beyond a reasonable doubt, these two defendants negligently killed 3 innocent children and injured their mother to the point of critical condition. Also, they kidnapped the driver of a car that they stole within the same incident.
What questions would you ask the witnesses?
I will ask the witnesses questions depending on what type of witness. An expert witness, I will ask them forensic-based questions that will help solidify my case. And also I will ask questions for people who are watching, maybe outside around. For example, here we have a store owner from the incident. What is your account of the incident?
Well, from what I could see, I was in the store and I saw the SUV speed past in the direction of the family that were at the fruit stand, and I saw the danger that was approaching, and I stepped outside to see. The SUV crashed into the fruit stand and claimed the lives of those 3 kids.
Is that the only part of the crime that you witnessed? Did you happen to see them kidnap the woman, steal the car, or is this the only part that you saw?
Well, I didn't see the kidnapping of the woman, but in the way that the car was driven, the SUV was driven, it was pretty obvious that something had been done. It was a lot of reckless driving, swerving, and the speed was outstanding. So it was an immediate attention grabber.
Was there anything specific that you may have noticed about the victims?
They were, very young. They were kids, and just a horrible scene. Kids, babies practically, that were, lying there, helpless.
What about anything specific about the defendants?
Just negligent guys. Obviously, what I mean, that's basically it. Just negligent guys. Now, what questions would you ask during cross-examination?
During cross-examination, I will try to prove that the Witnesses from the defense side may not be as truthful as they seem, discredit them in some manner. I'll ask them closed-ended questions to try and pull the truth, to try and bring the case in my favor.
Closing arguments.
Closing argument. You sum up all the evidence that's been presented of each side, and you try to convince the jury why your side should win. My closing argument. Two men were on some type of path. They decided to wake up. They woke up that morning. They decided we're going to steal some car from someone. They found a prime victim. They stole her SUV, kidnapped her, and threw her in the back at gunpoint. Driving down the street, swerving, speeding, and the car spun out of control into a fruit stand and killed 3 innocent children. The mother was in critical condition, and their kidnapping victim was also in critical condition. They have victimized 5 lives that day, just that day. These men are very dangerous. Imagine if that was your family. Imagine if that was your children. Imagine if that was you. Would you want them to seek justice? The defense has tried to prove why and how they did not do this. They did not commit these crimes and justify the reasons of the other crimes. But it all stands today that these 2 men caused these 5 lives and the people that knew them and their families and their friends to be ruined, changed forever.
Jury instruction. The judge addresses the jurors, explaining to them the crime the defendant was charged with and the legal standard they must apply when deciding whether the defendant is guilty or not guilty of committing that crime.
The judge has to show the jury how to that the law needs to be applied to the case only. Some legal language is difficult for jurors to understand, so the judge puts it in more simplified terms and tells them the exact law that they have to abide by.
The verdict. The jury weighs the evidence presented, applies the proper legal standard, and decides whether the defendant is guilty or not guilty.
The verdict is the decision, the what matters of the whole case. These men were charged with aggravated assault, kidnapping, theft of a motor vehicle, and 3 counts of second-degree murder.
The verdict. We find the defendants guilty of all charges.